Hey, you guys, what's going on? Facebook fam, it's your girl Vanessa Cabrera, and I am coming in hot with this one today, guys. I'm super pumped for this one. This is the first live case study of the year, and man, I don't even know where to begin. I'm a loss for words. Me and my client were just talking backstage before going live. You could probably hear her laughing right now. And as I was preparing for today's case study, I was like, I don't even know how she pulled this off. Like, I haven't even really like talked to her about this. I just remember getting a message from her going, holy crap, I just did the numbers on this, right? And I landed this contract. And I was like, of course you did, right? That's just how we roll. And that was pretty much the discussion. So I am just as curious as you guys to talk about today's live case study and get into all the things, how she was struggling, what she did about it, and how she came out doing the damn thing, how she landed this amazing contract. And I also wanted to touch upon this. And another reason I do these live case studies is because I want to be honest with you guys and talk about the real. Like people ask, how the hell are you doing this, Vanessa? How the hell are your clients, doing all these amazing things and getting these results? Well, this is why I do these live case studies so we can talk about all of the things. Yeah? Yes. All right, guys. So without further ado, let me bring on my badass client, Miss Mary Jo Mullen, MJ in the house. What's up? Of course, I was playing around with all my musical stuff. What's going on, MJ?
Not much.
How
Just
are you,
having a
girl?
lovely Monday.
Lovely Monday. And this, what is this thing in the sky? What is this?
Right.
Oh my
The
gosh,
sun, it hurts.
I
It's
know we
blinding.
haven't seen it in like I don't even know how long. Crazy. All right. So, is there a delay? Don't mess with me today, Ecam. Hold up.
Oh,
Hold up. Wait a minute. See if it comes back to me. All right. I have internet. Oh, I see my CPU. Yeah, it's my internet. Okay. Hold on, guys. We may have to switch up the connections. See if it comes back. Don't you love it when technology does not work? MJ, you look fine.
yeah, but I am behind.
Yeah, you're on a delay too. All right, hold up, people.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, hold up. Just checking some things, people. Stand by. Oh, yeah. My computer is not happy right now. Hold up. Okay. We good? Yes. I don't think there's a glitch. So
Better.
we're good now. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. What's up, Jen J? How are you, lady? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
Good.
Blinded by the sun,
I
you know.
know. It's very exciting to see, right? All right. So why don't you start off by introducing yourself?
So
As
my
she's
name is
typing.
Mary
Do
Jo
you hear her
Mullen.
working and typing?
No, I'm
No.
not texting. No. Um, um, so my name is Mary Jo Mullen. I currently own and run a consulting and coaching business. I work with primarily women who are in male dominated fields, really helping them excel at becoming inspirational leaders. I also consult back in my former life, where I worked at FEMA in the National Flood Insurance Program, and I continue to do consulting with some of the engineering firms that I used to work with and other firms that do policy and program management for the government.
Did you guys hear that? I always love it when she drops FEMA. I don't know. It just impresses the hell out of me. Impresses the hell out. She's like, oh, by the way, I also consulted for FEMA. Worked on Katrina. that little project.
Yeah,
Amazing.
little thing,
Yeah.
little little thing happened in 2005.
So MJ um, took a chance and she invested in herself and became an implementer. God, for some reason, I want to say it was like 3 years ago, but it's only been, I don't know why, MJ. I feel like we've been working together for a long time, but we know how to collapse time now. And she invested what, I think a year ago, right? Has it been a year?
Yeah, a little bit over a year. It was like going at the very end of 21.
Okay.
So around that.
So she invested in the implementer program, became an implementer. We started working together, and she came up with this amazing leadership program that she has been dreaming about, sitting on, too afraid to launch, all the things, right, that I hear from a lot of women. And so we started to throw down, right? And then from
Yeah.
there, if you guys watched her first live case study, this is her second go around. We talked about her experience with the implementer. And then since then, MJ decided to continue on and became a master implementer. So she graduated from the implementer program and then became a master implementer because she wanted to continue working with me, getting coaching, accountability, of course, and strategy for how to do even bigger things. She has some humongous goals of how she wants to create her dream life, her dream careers, and all the things. So within
Yeah.
that time frame, and I don't want to, tell your story, MJ, but somewhere along the lines, um, MJ landed this monster consulting contract. So before we get into all that, MJ, what I wanted to talk to you about or ask you is, so what were the problems that you were struggling with in the beginning, and what? Let's start there. What were the struggles that you were having with initially?
So I had a hard time getting a coaching program off the ground because I never loved the idea that I came up with, and then felt a little unsure how to put myself out there. And that's at least what I thought the problem was when we first started. Um, as we really kind of kicked off working together, I really understood better too that like I just had a lot of that was like just making me struggle with confidence. Which is funny because I actually used that fear and that lack of confidence in some of my early marketing and had so many people say, I can't believe that you are um, feel like you're an imposter. You feel like
Right.
you can't do this, that you're afraid. Like, I know you're out there, you put yourself out there in these crazy ways. How is it possible that you feel like that? Even people who've known me for 20 years, I'm like, no, you don't understand what goes on inside my head. Like, I appear confident.
Yeah.
Um, I've done a lot of things that I think people assume that I have a lot of confidence, being a woman in engineering and being successful at it and taking big leaps in my career to go to not just to FEMA, then FEMA in headquarters in DC and doing a lot of cool stuff. Like you would think that I felt unstoppable, and so often I didn't, and I was afraid
Mm.
of going outside of the lines and taking any big steps, and that totally held me back in a lot of things.
Yeah, that's right. I remember when we had this conversation beforehand, and people assume a lot of things, don't we?
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
We assume a lot of things, and myself too. I remember when MJ came to me, I was like, "What do you need my help with?" Like, I was confused, and I have stopped assuming that because you never know what is really going on behind the scenes. And so that's one of the things I loved about you, MJ, is when MJ came out swinging after her business breakthrough session and we cleared out a lot of that fear and what was really holding her back. When she came out swinging on LinkedIn, which was her social media platform of choice, she came out as a completely different person. But the other thing is that she was like calling herself out. You called yourself out all the
Totally.
time, but in such a way where, then you flipped it and then showed up as the leader you are, right? And so it
Yeah.
was just so very impressive where I was watching on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, dang, like she's just putting it all out there, right? And so, yeah, so your visibility started to skyrocket because this is what happens when you are 100% honest.
Right.
Honest. Go figure, right? Honest with your audience and what's really going down, your struggles, how you're working through it, and then how you can help or trying to help through this program, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you started implementing that campaign, right? And we're consistent as hell. Live streaming. She was live streaming on LinkedIn, doing all the scary ass shit that a lot of people are
Right.
scared to do. Yeah. I remember she's like, I'm going live. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be all right. And then there she was, week to week. Just I'm like, oh, there she is again. There she is again. Right. So, all right. So you're going through the
And a
implementer.
few times I was like, Vanessa, no one's talking to me.
No one's talking to me. No one's watching. They don't care. Yep. I know. It's so funny. And to this day, I don't either, right? There's sometimes I have 20 people watching live. Right now we have one person live. What's up? Watching us live. And then there's none. And that's all right because now you know that they are watching,
Yeah.
right? More
Yeah.
than none,
Totally.
they are watching. They're just not engaging. I just did a post about this the other day where I have another client, an implementer, going through the program now. And she's like, holy crap. I had no idea. Number one, the work it took to like set up a program and, optimize your profile. She's also on LinkedIn, throwing down on LinkedIn and all the things, and then creating content and staying consistent. She goes, I had no idea the amount of work that it took. And she goes, I feel so bad not like now scrolling through LinkedIn for years and like, you know, being inspired by people or agreeing with them and never commenting, never liking, nothing. And I'm like, so what are we going to do about that? She's like, I'm commenting on everything now. I'm commenting, I'm liking, and I'm like going back to people's like specific posts, right? And I'm like, yeah,
I do the same thing. And I'm like, yay.
right, exactly. When you know and you become a content creator, you're like, dang. And when someone puts out a really piece of good content that connects with you, I said this, I'm like, stop not commenting, right? Stop that. I'm like, they worked really hard on it,
Right.
just like you work really hard on your content. Do them a favor, give them a like, and let them know that you see them, that you feel them, that you heard them, right? That's all it takes, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. All right, so you were going through the implementer, doing your thing, talking about your program, right? And so what then happened throughout the implementer and then after that that
So
led
through
to
the
this
implementer,
monster deal? Walk us through.
yeah. So through the implementer, I started really reaching people that either I was already connected with, um, or people that they were connected with and I didn't really know, who really started to engage more and follow along with me. And that really helped me kind of take off on the coaching side. I had some good success bringing in clients and coaching, and even consulting. Also, one of the things we talked about in the first case study was a project that's getting ready to launch, and it is a coaching program within an engineering firm who is going to be kind of bringing up some of their up and coming leaders to get ready for the next big thing. And, those were really huge outcomes that 100% came from what I learned working with you um, on how to be present on LinkedIn, how to be putting out content, how to be confident in what I was doing and really breaking down those barriers. The big project that I got was something that I think had everything to do with what you do with implementers, in really working with us on fear and um, pulling out all the things that have like stopped us along our path and have held us back, and getting past that and being able to kind of pull that out and throw it aside whenever those little weird things start coming up. So when we first started working together, I had a contract that went on hold, and it was about half of my revenue each month. um, and it hurt my bottom line a lot. I ended up using my line of credit in my business to be able to continue to draw a salary and do weird things like eat and feed my kids, you know. Um,
Those weird
so when
things, right?
right,
Your kids like to
right,
eat? Yeah, mine does
they
too.
do like multiple times a day,
I
you know.
know, all the time. He always wants to eat. I'm like, rude. Yeah.
Right. So it was a struggle, and it I was really nervous about what I was going to do, and what I've realized over time and is that I have missed opportunities because I was afraid
Hmm.
and pulled back from something too quickly and pulled back too soon. Um, so like I was waiting for a promotion at one job and it wasn't coming through, it wasn't happening. So I said, screw it, I'm just gonna leave and go somewhere else. And like 6 months later, they finally created the position that I was waiting for. You
Ah,
know, stuff like that
yeah.
that the fear or like I would push stuff away or essentially sabotage myself because I was so afraid of what was going to happen. I would find some other path, which was doing me a lot of good, but also in retrospect, I was missing out a lot of things that if I'd been a little more patient with myself and not acted like completely out of a fear response,
Hmm.
I probably would have been more successful in some areas. So old me,
Oh, you.
pre-implementer me,
Yeah.
would have definitely um, freaked out and either given up on that contract and taken on work that would have prevented me from continuing on it when it came back to life, or gone back to stuff I didn't enjoy doing as much. So the contract that so to try and make it as short of a story as possible,
That's okay.
um,
Don't know.
I was
I'm
working
telling you,
on.
they want details.
I
Like,
know.
believe me, my audience
But this
wants
part is the lame
details.
stuff. This part's the lame stuff.
Yeah.
So the contract I was working on was pretty operational. It's a government program that we've been working in for a long time, and that team was asked to kind of start figuring out what comes after this. Like, how do we really big transformational changes to the program?
Okay.
And as we started to do that, the government said, okay, hold on. Maybe this big transformational change should be a totally separate contract. So it kind of split off. And I was making decent money on the operational contract. I billed out at $150 an hour. Um, Felt like it was, I had a few $1,000s each month at least that I could bill.
Hmm.
And when it stopped and they were breaking it apart, I had to make a choice between the big, cool, transformational process improvement, awesome stuff that I enjoyed doing,
Hmm.
or the operational work, which I don't enjoy as much. Um, and old me would have said, I can't wait. I've just got to go back to the old contract and do the operational work and put my head down and just do it.
Hmm.
And working with you, I had the confidence to be like, no, damn it.
Damn it.
Worth more than that. I know that I can pull in a lot more. I'm going to do the thing that I want to do and enjoy. And if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. I will find ways to make this work until the right thing happens that I really, really want. So I could be more patient and say, I know it's coming. I know it's going to be fine. I'm going to make this work, which I never would have done before. And I did. And a lot of the stuff that we've done also, like, I don't love the idea of like manifesting because I think it's that alone kind of takes away from some of like the own work you do um, to make stuff happen,
Yeah.
you know. But I do believe in kind of like turnabout and fair play. So like you put the work in, you put the effort in, you put everything out there, and it does come to you. And I feel like what really I had the patience, I had the confidence to wait and see this through. And as it developed, like there were periods, like months, that we would have no idea what was going on
Right.
because the government can't tell you anything when they're in the middle of procuring a contract. Like
Hmm.
it's complete radio silence. And for all I knew, I was gonna like run my business into the ground and not feed my kids anymore. so so as that finally started to come up, what I found was the fact that I was more confident, I was present, I was out there. The way the proposal or the request for proposal was written was that the company that was asked to bid on it absolutely 100% needed me. Like I had made quite a impact on what we had done already,
Okay.
and they weren't going to be able to continue down the path without putting me into a key role. And like in government contracting, a key personnel role means that they're not allowed to replace me unless the government gives them permission. If I
Okay.
leave, the government has to approve the person that goes into that role next.
Okay.
So um, there was a key personnel role that they put that this company ended up putting me into as a sub consultant, because it was like written so ideally to fit my expertise, my background, my knowledge, and all the things that I do. So um, I was billing $150 an hour in the operations contract, and then the contract showed up for me to review for the new transformation project. And it was a firm fixed price contract, which I've never worked in before. All I do is say, "Give me my money this month," and they give me that set amount of money, and it was $11,600 a month that they're paying me to support this transformation of this program. And it's something. It's not so much that I got the work because of the work we did in getting me on LinkedIn. I got that job, I got that project because of the work we did with me inside
Okay.
and building me up into the person that could say, I know this is happening. It's going to be the best thing. It's going to be exactly what I want. And I'm going to make sure that it happens, but I'm going to be patient and let it come to you when the time is right.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now I understand. So we did a lot of internal work with
A
you, which
lot.
is what I tell everyone. I try to scream it from the from the rooftops. Is that that's the real work, right? Like that's the real work. I realize we're having techie issues. I don't care. Um,
Oh, I think I caught up. There we go.
there we go.
Much
Uh,
closer.
and which is what I would say. That's like 90% of the work, right? Is the internal mind stuff, fear, all the stuff, and it's different for everybody. So the fact that you you pinpointed that you were patient. I didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and that makes a lot of sense because what happens is, and I just went through this with a past client, is that it wasn't happening fast enough for her.
Right.
She's like, I'm doing all these things, and it's just not happening, and this and that, and I'm like, this doesn't happen overnight, right? This
And we had
doesn't
that
happen over.
talk 3 months
Yes,
in too, you
yeah,
know?
you went through the same thing, right?
Yep.
Actually, all the implementers I can say they're like, it's not happening right, fast enough, this and that. I've seen all this stuff,
Right.
and I'm just like, this is not, a get rich quick scheme by no means. This is all you. This is all the work that you put in, and I guarantee you, if you do the internal work and you stay consistent and you believe in what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to fail. There's just no way you're going to fail, which is why I would say the implementer has a 100% success rate. It just does,
Right.
right? And so the
Yeah.
fact that you're able to pinpoint patience, ah, man, I love that. Holy cow, that's a huge like aha moment because so many people, especially when it comes to social media, and all these online
Right.
business ideas and all these people thinking that they can get rich just by posting and all this, and I'm just like, y'all
Because
buckle.
somebody every day is in your inbox telling you that I can get you
Yeah,
30 leads every day. Like if you just use my program.
yeah.
Shut up. Leave me alone. Stop it.
Right.
Liar.
Lies. Lies, all lies, right? And so the fact that you understand that it takes patience was huge. And I love the fact that you talked about manifestation. I love that too, because that's something that you and I have in common. And I didn't know this about you,
Yeah.
MJ, because I
Yeah.
kind of feel the same way too. Like back in the day, I'm like, that's a bunch of freaking hoo-ha. And if you just put in the freaking work and do the work and head down and write and do everything that you're supposed to do. However,
Right.
now through my own entrepreneurial journey, there is absolutely 100% to it. I might not call it manifestation. I have a different process and different ways of how I see it,
Mhm.
but they both have to work together. Like you said, like
Yeah.
you have to believe it's going to happen 100%. I think that's
Yeah.
the patience and the belief and the mindset.
Yeah.
That's what
Belief
manifestation
was so much of it. Yeah,
completely, right?
absolutely.
Like it's going to happen, right? I see it happening. It's right there. I can see it clear as day, right? You may not know the how or whatnot, but it's going to
Right.
happen either way, right?
Right.
But then
Totally.
you have to do the work.
Right.
People, you
Right.
have to do the work, right? And when you do the work, like I said, it's eye opening being like how much work it does actually really take, right? How much
Right.
energy it is to put yourself out there. People don't have a clue. Like, they're, oh, it's just posting the post. When you're congruent and you're excited to put yourself out there, afraid, right? And as
Hmm.
vulnerable as you were on LinkedIn, that's a lot of energy that you put into that online space, right? That wears
Yeah,
your ass
totally.
down, right?
It
That
totally
wears
does.
me down. Completely. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. Like I put a vulnerable post down. Sometimes it takes me an hour to write a post. Sometimes it takes me 2 seconds to write a post. It just depends. But either way, when I'm super vulnerable, it's energy that I'm putting out there and I'm wasted. It's like
Yeah.
exhausting, right? And so then to
Yeah.
get up the next day and be creative, right, or whatnot, or
Right.
figuring out what to post, right? Um, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy. And people are like, I'm so tired. I'm like, right, which is why you have to rest. I'm not saying to go live
Right.
every single day or post every single day. You will wear your ass out. What I'm
Oh my God.
saying is, when you post something, you have to mean it. That's all
Mhm.
I ask of my clients.
Well, we had the one time where I was going through. We might have talked about this in the first case study too. I was having a few struggles. So I'm an elected official in my community,
Oh, right.
and had a kind of a big attack on me, and I was supposed to go live that day, and I was like, Vanessa,
I
I'm
remember.
tired and everything sucks. They're like, don't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do that. He's like, yeah, yeah, no, cancel it, forget it, it's
Yep.
fine, move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You had a bad day. We all have bad days,
Right.
right? So if you have a
I was
bad
in
day,
no headspace for that.
none. You are not. And no, not even. So I'm like, nope, go Netflix and chill, go hang with your kids, go do whatever makes you happy, right? To get you back into that leadership, right? Confident,
Yeah.
vulnerable state. And that's okay. That's totally okay. So I love the fact that that's what it took. Okay. So when that DM came, when MJ messaged messaged me and was like, I just did the math.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. She's like, I just did the
It's
math
like,
on this.
holy
Am I
shit.
right? I think this is right. And so she broke it down and like she highlighted like the contract of, what she was gonna get
I
paid.
I emailed the person that I was coordinating with on
Oh,
the contract. I was like, am, am I understanding this right? Am I going to bill you $11,000 every month? And she's like, uh-huh. I was like,
okay.
okay,
All right.
cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Oh, it was so funny. I was just like, is that right? I had to do like a couple double takes. So I'm
Right.
like reading it, I'm zooming in on that. I'm
It's
like,
kind of like my
oh,
calculator. Like,
yeah. So I was busting out calendars. I'm like, maybe your math is wrong. That can't be right, right? So I do them. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm like, holy crap, congratulations.
I know. And that was double my best month under the old contract.
Hmm.
So, like, it was just one of those things I was like, oh, you're right. I am worth this. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
you are. Yes, you. FEMA. How many times have I screamed the word FEMA to her? It was so funny when
Totally.
we had her private coaching calls, and she's like, I don't know, Vanessa, if this is going to work, and the worry and the self doubt and all the stuff that we all go through, right? Which is why you need a freaking coach, right? I have one too,
Yeah.
and the worry and this and that, and I would literally scream FEMA. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, you have FEMA backing your ass up. I'm like, and she's still self doubting herself, right? I was just like, man. It's nuts what we put in our head because
Gosh.
at the end of the day, there are no problems. We are making it up in our heads. We do it all the time and we do it so often on an unconscious level that we just naturally turn to the worst. What if
Yeah.
this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? What if it does? Right?
Right.
And
Totally.
MJ was strong enough and patient enough and finally had the confidence to be like, okay, something's going to work. This is going to work when there was no money coming in, right? Where she
Right.
had, you have four boys? Yeah,
3 boys.
three
Well,
boys.
4 if you call it my
Well, four,
husband,
your
but
husband.
you know.
Four boys to feed, including herself, all the things, bills, mortgage, right? All that stuff. And she kept the faith. She kept the faith in herself. She kept believing in herself. Her confidence was consistent, right? And she just knew something was going to happen and bam. But she didn't know what exactly was going to happen when that money wasn't coming in, right? And
Right.
that's what I'm talking. That's the real work that it takes, where you're like, something is going to happen. Okay, this is
Yeah.
going to work, right? So
Yeah.
many people quit. So many people quit out of fear, and I'm just like, oh my god, you're so close. I'm like, you are just so damn close if you just stay consistent, right? And especially now, I get it. It's scary times, right? A recession, gas prices, food prices skyrocketing, and I can go on and on and on. Guess what? It's going to happen again, right? There was a recession in
Hmm.
2008. There was, dot com bust, all the stuff, right? Interest rates going up, interest rates going, all these things. It's going to happen, right? But it's those of us who are like, nope, I ain't trying to hear none of that, right? Because I know the opportunities that are online if I just
Hmm.
show up and tell people how I can help them, what I do and how I can help them, right?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Just bless you. Right? And what's funny is like half the time, myself included, and implementers and now master implementers, there's opportunities coming that you didn't even see coming. And so, 9 times out of 10, when we work together and we co-create, right? It's happened to every single implementer, and it's happened to myself all the time, where we create a plan, a social media marketing strategy, right, based on you, right? I don't force any of my clients to do anything. I didn't force MJ to go live, right? She knew she wanted to go live and face that fear and whatnot, right? I'm like, okay, go live, right?
Yeah.
And then the thing is that so you have this plan and you're sure that this is how it's going to go down. If I do this step and then that step and then this step, and then, all these clients will come and whatnot, right? And sometimes it just doesn't work out like you planned it, but it
Yeah.
does give you what you want in a
Yeah.
very
Totally.
different way, right? The
Yeah.
only difference is that you got yourself out of your own way.
Oh, totally. And it cracks me up now too, thinking like as you're saying that, I'm thinking about the other stuff that I'm working on
Oh
right
yeah,
now. I've been quiet on social media compared to where I was
yeah.
because I've been working in a bakery and working on some plans around that. And a week ago, God, it's only a week ago,
It's only
Vanessa,
week.
that
Yeah.
I messaged I messaged Vanessa and said, "Oh."
By the way, I can hear her grunts via Messenger. I
Totally.
can hear them. I can feel them. I'm like, oh Lord, where's she at today?
Totally.
What's
Right. And I
up?
was like, dude, I'm just hitting a wall. I need to talk.
Yeah.
So we talked the next day, worked out some stuff, and in the course of like just the last week, I've managed like to make 15 contingency plans, and one of them came through, so I can buy a bakery.
I
Like it's crazy town, but it's really gonna happen now. So it's just yeah, I never would have saw this coming,
yeah.
but that's where we are, right? It was just following and making crap happen.
Exactly. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? So, engineer, FEMA, leadership coach, right? Baker, or why don't you like to call you Baker? What is it that you studied in? It's a fancier word.
Pastry arts.
Pastry artiste, right? And now she's buying a freaking bakery because this is what she loves to do. If you guys haven't seen
Yeah.
MJ's post, and she, by the way, she posts what she bakes on LinkedIn too. Like people think
Hmm.
they have to
Yeah.
post a certain way or they have to button up or they got to be all corporate in LinkedIn. No, you don't. MJ was posting, her pastry creations on LinkedIn and they would blow up. People would be like, "You did this? I thought you
Right.
just did," right? Because people like to put us in like a little box. You're a baker
Hmm.
too? And so when
Right.
MJ talks about baking, she clearly loves it. Like she
Loves
loves
it.
it and is phenomenal at it. So she's buying a bakery.
You know.
She just bought a bakery. So where's my horn? Hold up. Yes! She's buying a bakery
Oh,
because this is the life that MJ wants. She is legit designing a life that she loves, that she's passionate about, that serves both her love of making pastries, making cakes, and whatnot, and all these things, and being a badass leadership coach and a consultant. Because she can, right? Why can't you, right?
yeah. It's been awesome. I've always looked back at my career and been like, oh, what a winding path, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like I'm more determining that winding path. It's
Yeah.
still winding, but I feel like I have a lot more handle on where it's going and openness to, cool, let's take a left turn here. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's see what this looks like, because that looks
Right,
cool,
totally.
right? Yeah. What if I had a bakery and my office right next to it? So like I can like ice a cake right quick and then like take a coaching call.
Right.
Why can't you? Yes, you can. This is legit MJ's life. I freaking love it. Talking about going all in on your passions. Legit MJ, it's been so inspiring to see where these twists and turns have come. Because I remember talking about this with you. She's like, I can like kind of see myself like owning a bakery. I'm like, yeah. I leaned in. I'm like, what would that be like?
Right.
And she's like, I know, right? I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. I could see that. She's like, I would love that. Psh, less than a year later, here she is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, MJ. So, with that, what would you say? I love the fact that we talked about patience, manifesting it, putting in the work, right? You being a completely different person because that's what it takes, right? I always say
Yeah.
it, what needs to change is you, right? Because if you haven't gotten the business results that you wanted, something has to change, right? Nothing
Yeah.
changes if nothing changes. And you sure as hell have changed big time.
Yeah.
So now going through the implementer, now master implementer, and doing all these scary things that aren't just scary anymore. You should see MJ. She's like, I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna call this person. I'm just figuring it. Like she's just not afraid anymore. Like I'm like, what? And that's where I want master implementers to be. Like there is no fear. There is no worry. We will figure it out, right?
Right.
We will figure
Right.
it out. And the beautiful thing is that we're not alone, right? You have me, you have Z, right? All these people that
Mhm.
were there. We're just not alone, which makes a monster difference in the entrepreneurial
Yeah.
space. Like going it alone is, it sucks.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is now moving forward? What are you going to continue to do that has been working for you? That shift or whatnot to go full throttle.
So I'm going to continue just showing up and being my authentic self, right? Sounds hokey, but that was a big thing that I did, right? I wasn't afraid to be me online. I wasn't afraid to just go do my thing
Yeah.
and do the things that I love. So I'm really taking that to heart. And, it's some of it I feel like I don't even have control over not continuing to do. Like, I am so different. I don't even have to say, oh, I'm not going to be fearful anymore, right? Like, it's kind of gone. There's so many times that I'm in a situation where I'm like, man, I would have handled this way differently a year and a half ago. Like,
Yeah.
so like I feel like there's so much that I'm carrying forward that's not even on a conscious level. It's just what all the things about me that have grown and changed that I'm taking forward in terms of the belief of what I do and what I love, and just feeling like I deserve
Yeah.
what's coming and what there is. Um, all of that, and it spills out in every part of my life too. It's like I totally can see that I have a little bit of a different relationship and communication with my kids, with my husband too. You know, there's stuff like I used to be afraid to talk to him about that, like I really want to do this thing and it's
Yeah.
going to cost money, and it was hard. And going through all the stuff at the bakery, having, like trying to figure out our finances along the way while we're with the bakery, and just kind of like that on hold period that I had with that contract. Um, we've been able to just have really open conversations and talk about everything because I'm not afraid to bring stuff up. Like, I'm not
Right.
afraid to confront issues. I'm not afraid to go after something. I'm not afraid to say, hey, I see you guys got this problem here, which is one of the other consulting gigs that I have. I know how to help you fix that. They're like, okay. So,
Yeah.
sure, cool. All right, thanks. Um, so I think a lot of that is the unconsciously bringing forward all of that work, along with just then putting in the work that I need to do, that I know is just keep a schedule, keep this going. Get online, post stuff that I need to do. I'm gonna have my 2 lives of posting, once the bakery stuff happens, because bakery is very much Facebook, Instagram, consulting is very much LinkedIn. So I'll be
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
planning and scribbling my time. But I know that I need to like kind of plan out my time accordingly to make all that happen still. Um, and that's one of the things that I'm gonna take forward is being really attentive to, I don't say to my audience, but like to putting in the time and work it takes to be really present on social, and putting yourself out there, because it does, like you said, take a lot more time and effort than I think a lot of people give thought to it.
Yeah.
But it also is time that is so worth the investment, that I want to make sure that I really get back into it and keep it up, once everything settles in with the bakery, because it's a huge part of my next plan too. It's a huge part of growing the bakery is presence and having that brand on social media and being the fun bakery that you get lots of cool cakes from, and showing everyone all the cool work we do. So making that time is so hard, but so important.
Yeah. I have no doubt you will figure it out. You will figure it out. So, to everyone on LinkedIn wondering where MJ went, this is where MJ went. She's like, I haven't posted, and I'm like, you don't need to post. You don't need to
Right.
post. I'm like, you're working on another big ass project, right? And when you're ready to announce it, which I'm so excited that you did today, I didn't think you were going to. I'm like, I'll just see where MJ goes.
I'm being a little vague still,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I bought a
all the
bakery.
details will come out hopefully in 6 weeks.
Um, yeah, so that's why MJ's been quiet on LinkedIn. If you guys have been wondering, she's been working on some other big stuff that she's always wanted. All right, MJ, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your honesty. I want to thank you for your hard work that you've put in for, this past year and a half, even though it seems like it's been 3 years. It's only
I know,
a
right?
year and a half that she's accomplished so much. And you inspire the hell out of me. And this is why I wanted to interview you, because there's so many people out there that are leading with fear, that they're just too scared to move, that they're just too afraid to invest, that they're just too afraid to go after what it is that they want. And I just kind of like want to shake them and being like, tick tock, mofo, like, like, let's jump, because, if you're going to be fearful and be like, okay, this year's just a wash because of the recession, this and that, I'm like, no, says who,
Right.
right? No, man, there is plenty of people who are making a shit ton of money during this recession, and why not you? Because check out
Right.
MJ, right? Check out MJ. Amazing. Amazing
Oh,
MJ. Thanks so
thanks,
much for
son.
hanging on, and I will see you soon, lady.
All right. Bye.
All right, people. I'm telling ya, I was coming in hot with this one, coming in hot. So I wanted to tell you guys and make you guys an offer if you are interested in working with me and getting a little bit more information on what the implementer is, which is my business coaching experience. I don't like calling it a program. It ain't a program, all right? This is an actual experience that you go through to help you get unstuck, to help you figure out what it is that you really want to do, to help you with